What do we want to talk about today, Kiss?
Just be cool.
Do we want to talk about the All Blacks? Yes, and the adventures that you're doing, and then maybe what I've been doing with the Warriors.
Your adventures.
Again, every time we do this, oh, bro, it's been a minute since we last caught up.
Fuck, you guys got minutes between you guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. My name is Stacy, and this is always, as always, the amazing Kirby, and this is our awesome Kirby and Stacy podcast. Fuck, we got to get a name.
Organic. No, that's organic.
All right, let's leave it with that. But anyway, let's get into it.
Come on.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you again for joining us. We always truly appreciate you joining us in our podcast and what we get up to and have a bit of chat and just catch up. Today we want to catch up about a few things. We want to catch up about what Curbs has been up to, what you've been up to, bro. Mm-hmm. So you've got a few things in the pipeline going on. For example, the boys are on the tools and they're starting to do some tattoos and they're looking pretty fucking mean too as well, by the way. I've seen the boys on their social medias and also seen the boys on the tools in the showroom as well, in the studio, and they're doing some pretty cool stuff, bro. Also talking about what you got coming out, so you've got some merch and stuff that you're working on, some little things behind the scenes, and also what I've been up to with the Warriors as well, you know. So even though the Warriors have been finished for the last couple of weeks, but it's been it's still
a trip.
Still a tripper, and still feels surreal to be part of it, you know, like what we went through and to be you know, helping them with content. So it's been mean, bro. So, but yeah, so just in terms of what you've been up to, bro. So obviously you went to Sydney a little while ago, bro, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did some tats over there.
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Did some work over there.
Sydney, yeah. Went for like a same thing. Like I always go to Oz, just like work, and then a bit of like sightseeing. But I actually ended up going like real bad, and I ended up like all my clients ended up like canceling like the week of, like, so like I ended up having like I only worked like a week, but I had like three clients who took like 2 days each, and then like the day before I leave, like I get a message like cancel. It's like, fuck, that's annoying. Like, and then like not long after that, get the next like client cancel. It's like, what the fuck? Like, oh shit. Like, bro, I'm always trying to like think positive. Like I'm always just like, fuck, who cares? Like, you know, it is what it is. If they canceled, that means it wasn't meant to be, you know. And then I get there, and then like I'm buying all my tools, like I'm buying all my like supplies that I need for like my sessions. And then I message my client like, hey bro, like, you know, you good for tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, sorry bro, like forgot to tell you, like, I can't make it. I was like, oh, fuck off, bro. Like, that was literally like everyone that I like booked in ended up canceling. And I was just like, fuck it. Like, just have a holiday, have time off. But then, like one of my good boys there, Gus, shout outs Gus Brown. He's like pretty much the reason I go to Sydney. Like, if I ever go to Sydney, it's always to go catch up with him, go see him. And he was like, oh, silly, like, because I saw him on the first night. We caught up for like dinner, and then he was like, oh, like, so what, you working tomorrow? And I was like, nah, I ended up having like freaking all the cancellations. And he was like, I'll just chuck up a story, like. Bro, he chucked up a story. I ended up filling up the whole week.
The man.
Like, I'm just like, oh shit, like, fuck, now I'm back on the tools.
Let's go.
Anyways, like, ended up going mean, like, had a few, like, clients and everything, like, pretty much, like, sorted itself. But the good thing that came out of it was, like, me and Gus, we, like, pretty much, like, sat down and like went over like all our like clothing, like the clothing side of it. So the clothing's always been like a massive part of Owing. Like Owing's pretty much was meant to be like the clothing, you know. And then when I got the store, like when I got the space, I just didn't know what to call it. And Owing was already like a registered company.
So what is Owing to you again, bro? Like for people that may not have heard of Owing before, what does it mean to you?
Owing just means like owing to God, and then like after that, it pretty much just means like owing to my parents, owing to my family, owing to my friends, owing to like everyone that kind of believed in me, believed in us. And that's like what we do it for. It's like we owe it back to everyone. So yeah, like the clothing is like what owing was meant to be. Like it was meant to be like a clothing brand, kind of lifestyle brand with all like accessories and, you know, collectibles.
Because you've always been into your fashion, eh? Like you've loved
Yeah.
your fashion. I mean, even the books around you, even like your studio you set up, I know it's all about like a fashion house kind of vibe, you know,
Yeah.
like in terms of even like what you wear, you know, the sneakers. I mean, you've got the new sneakers on today.
Shout outs above the clouds. I had to line up for this shit as well.
Did you?
But, nah, so like I entered the raffle, and lucky I was over there. I entered the raffle and then didn't win the raffle, but we went to the store the day before, and the guy was like, "Oh, bro, if you don't win the raffle, if you're here at like 10 a.m., like they're giving the first 100 pairs to whoever comes in first."
Oh, yo.
Bro, like I went there and it was like maybe like 9:30. Fuck, it was like empty as, bro. I was like, oh fuck, I'll just go get a coffee. But when we got a coffee, came back, there was like freaking like 20 people in the line. I was like, oh shit, fuck, I need to go wait in the line. Like, fuck, I want to get my shoes. Like, and the guy was like showing me like how many how many pairs there will be. So like in my head, all I was thinking was like, fuck, who's size 11 that I'm looking at
Just
right now?
scoping them out, eh? It's like, motherfucker.
Like, nah, that guy's short. Nah, that guy's tall dude. Oh, fuck, he might be 11. Shit, I need to like go stand next to him. Like, yeah, but anyways, back on like the clothing story. Me and Gus. So back in 2021, when I got stuck in Sydney, I went in like
For COVID.
yeah, I went in like saw Gus, and we were pretty much discussing like the clothing back then, and we were like doing samples. We were like pretty much everything that like we were trying to like set up was like done back then. And then fast forward to now, like this trip ended up becoming like for the clothes. Like everything was for the clothes, and it was crazy because like the cancellations that I had, like mentally, like, you know, it stuffs up the mind, you know, like it stuffs up like your like reasoning, and then you end up in like a little slump, like, oh fuck man, like I can't believe like people cancelled, or, you know, just like fucking muck me around. And then it kind of like stuffs up the bankroll, you know, like, and I was like thinking like, man, that's like fucked up, like what was the reason behind that? And then when me and like Gus caught up and we're like discussing like the clothing, and like he's telling me like, bro, now it's time. Like what we set up back in 2021 is like ready now. Like, and it was like all the like the shit, like feelings, the like bad like mood that I was like feeling like fucking went away, bro. Like, and I was like, that's the reason. Like, that's why these guys, like, I ended up having cancellations, because it was like something else was
To allow something to come in, eh?
I came over to Oz for something else, you know? And then, bro, it ended up being like the fucking best trip, bro. Like, pretty much like majority of my trip was just like me and Gus. And we were just like discussing all the clothes, like talking about like what we want to drop, talking about like what's gonna drop, and then like getting everything made, like because we've already sampled, like now we can like find, it's almost like the final proof. And so yeah, it ended up being like fucking just the best trip, bro. And then like coming back, my mind was just like refreshed, came back with like a different mindset, like almost like a just want to do more, you know, like, so it was, yeah, it was, that was pretty much like my trip. And then like coming back, and then now it's like the bigger goals for me now is like to focus more on the clothing side of things, focus more on like like that part of my life, because like I've been with the boys now, and like all my energy's been towards them and trying to bring them up, and trying to like build the studio. So like the clothing side of everything kind of just got like paused, you know. And so now it's like, frick, it's the best feeling that I'm like getting this like drive back, getting like that, just that urge to try and like, you know, bring out like new stuff, especially because I'm like I've always loved, like you said, I've always loved it, and I always like keep an eye out for like everything that's coming out. You know, I'm always watching what's coming out. I'm always looking at people like doing stuff, and it's like killing me inside, you know, because it's almost like not trying to like say I'm better than like anyone, but it's always like, fuck, man, like you wait till like I do mine, you know, like you wait till I like figure it out, you know. But yeah, now is just the time for it.
Because are you going to start with quite a few pieces, or are you going to ease into it, or how many pieces do you think you're going to start with?
Yeah, we're gonna
What's your
like
strategy?
slowly go into it, but like we're starting off with like our own tees, like, and I mean like our own cut, like custom cut, like, yeah. So we'll do the tees, and then like slowly after that we'll like introduce like the shorts. Shorts and pants is something that I like really want to like be like doing like fully, because it's like, you know, like everyone can do t-shirts, you know, but like shorts and pants are almost like a tricky like a tricky garment to try and like master. But yeah, and then like hoodies, crews, jackets, outerwear, like, collectibles, accessories. But yeah, it'll pretty much just like there's no real like plan to like what I want to do, like, you know, first, second, third, like that. It's more just like I kind of just want to release everything, and then once everything's out there, then I can like start thinking about like catalogs, start thinking about like seasons and how I want to like run everything and put everything together, because I don't really want to like drop a whole like freaking collection or something and no one really knows, you know, what it is. Like no one really knows what the brand is. Like no one's really like looking forward to anything. Like, so it's almost like if I can just do it like, you know, bit by bit, like kind of just like drip feeding everyone, then they'll kind of understand what we're trying to do, and then yeah, just trying to build the brand like slowly.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it, rather than putting a whole lot of product out there, like a full collection, and then like you sell 3 pieces of each, you know, and your minimums are like fucking, you know, like 50 to 100 units, and you sell 3, then all of a sudden you're sitting on inventory that you just have to get rid of, and you know, you're just sitting on money. But if you drip feed it into the market, that's the best way to do it. But I guess it's also bringing people along on the journey of, you know, the whole process.
Well, that's all it. Like that's what we're trying to, I guess, build, is like the community, like, and that's what like our community pages, like Owen Community, at Owen Community, go follow that page. If you like really want to be like a part of everything, I'm going to be chucking like pretty much all the behind the scenes stuff on that page, and then like, because I really want to keep it like real exclusive. Like I don't want to be the you know, not to like knock any like other brands out, but I don't want to be that brand that like you just constantly see. Like I want it to be like a brand that people are proud to wear, because they know like you're not going to see this, you know, like you're not going to see this if we go to a festival. Like there's not going to be like another 50 people wearing their same like tee, or, you know. And so I want like people to almost like feel exclusive, and like it stays like that, you know, it always stays like exclusive. And to be honest, I don't know how that'll get, if it gets like massive, you know, but that's kind of like where I wanted to like go, is just to be like real, like a real niche, you know.
Because who do you take inspiration from when you sort of look at that sort of style of being niche? Do you sort of aspire? Does anyone influence you? Like, for example, Jerry Lorenzo or anything like that, you know? Is that sort of, who do you sort of take inspiration from when it comes to your clothing stuff?
It's funny because like I don't really like niche like clothing. Like my favorite brands are like Stussy, like Bapes.
Oh, true.
Yeah, like those kind of brands. And these like
Stossy's been around for years.
Bro, but those guys are like, they like are the masses, you know, like, and they're like the bigger brands. But then the like the niche brands who I more like want to be. I don't know if you know like a brand called like Cortez. They're kind of like a new UK brand. But the cool thing about him is he's like real, like tries to stick to his like way of like doing clothes, and so he's always wanted to like make clothes like affordable. He doesn't want his clothes to be like resellable. He only opens his like website for like 2 days, and then he like shuts it down. And so like he tries to keep it like real exclusive, and he just released like a shoe. I think it was like earlier this year. He like released like an Air Max, and it ended up like getting shut down because like people were like, bro, he was like known as like the new Supreme. Like he like blocked off a whole street. Like everyone was like jumping on cars, like fighting over the shoe that he's releasing. And it was like an Air Max 90, I think it was like a 95. But he sold it for like $110. Like affordable as, you know. But because of the community that he's built, like that real like exclusive like niche, that's why people are like, you know, really want their brand. Like, and so he's kind of like someone that I like the way he's like gone about his brand. But then, yeah, on the other hand, like I fucking like love like Sushi, like, and those kind of like the massive ass brands that have been around for like hundreds of years.
And that's the thing, like someone like Stussy, they've gone through all the times, like, right, like, and to be a fashion brand, especially a street fashion brand too,
right.
Trying to, you know, to make it, because there's so many brands coming in, you know, it's always interesting to know what their strategy is and how do they stay relevant, you know.
Yeah,
they did drop out for a little bit, but then they've sort of come back again, you know. They've got a research, and it's cool to see brands like that, you know, to get a research, you know, in terms of, and that's, I look at the way, for example, Timberland, right, like the boot, you know, like effectively they're an outdoor hiking boot, but because of culture and the way that it's been adopted by, you know, street culture, it's just so strong, you know, it still continues to be strong. You know, I can't see too many people wearing it as a hiking boot. It's more of a fashion piece, you know. And that's what North Face is like. The outdoor trail companies are now becoming fashion brands. Yeah. Have you noticed that? Like that's a trend now. Like people like the whole, outdoor trend. Look at I say North Face, and is it Patagonia? Is it
Patagonia.
Patagonia, you know, that's massive as well. You know, I just love that. You know that, for example, the Timberland and even North Face, the hip hop sort of group. Genre has sort of taken and made it themselves, you know. And so I think some of these brands have got to thank culture, or, you know, like, for example, music, or different parts of communities around the world that have sort of taken it and run with it, you know, and they've sort of grown it, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, music has like a massive part to play in like fashion, you know, like. But
then music, art, you know, like even, you know, like any kind of art. And again, sorry, referring back to Timberland, it's like they've got artists, they've got graffiti artists, they've got musicians wearing them, you know, like the dancers, you know, they wear them as well. Yeah, so for these brands, I think that's a good strategy in terms of linking up with, you know, or targeting the audience towards creative people. Yeah. You know, depending what your brand is, obviously, you know, but there might be something, depending how you want your brand to be dictated. Is it whether you want it to be on that street style, or you want it to be that sort of high-end exclusive, you mean? But then again, like even if it's still high-end exclusive, you know, again, hip-hop rap sort of took over and made like Gucci and all that, you know, like they're throwing it into their music and their, you know, so it's interesting that there could be different tiers of fashion, but can also be driven by musicians, artists, you know, the culture, you know, like, so you've got Timberland, then you've got, like I say, Gucci, so they're two different scales. And then you've even got like the Nike, that's still going in there, you know. So it's cool to see. It'd be interesting to see where you we're excited to see where you take Owing and where you want that to sit within the market. You know, like you're saying, you want it to be affordable. Is it like, is it more like like you say, you want it to be affordable but feel high end? Is that sort of the vibe you're looking for?
I do want it to be reasonable. Like me personally, I don't buy clothes like that are affordable. Like I like buying clothes that are a bit above, like has like a like hefty price tag on it, because I know like not everyone can buy that. So it makes me feel like I'm wearing something that not everyone can buy, you know, like. So I almost want to treat it like the way I like wear my clothes. Like I want to wear my clothes knowing that no one else is wearing my clothes. I want to buy my clothes knowing that no one else will like just buy this off the cuff. Like it's certain people that can afford this, you know, and that's the kind of like bracket I guess that I want to be in.
Here's a question for you, bro. Do you wear all the shoes you buy?
Definitely.
You're one of those ones.
I wear it like second day.
Yeah.
They come out, I freaking pull them out, and I wear them.
So if you bought a pair of Jordan Dior's, would you wear them?
Definitely.
Yeah. I remember because I made them one. The reason why I say is because I think you're either and you can either be maybe two groups. You either buy them and you might buy a pair and then buy another pair to rock and one to stock.
Yeah.
You know, so and otherwise you just buy to wear or you buy to display. You know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a bit of both worlds. Sometimes I wear them, but I honestly buy like if I buy a top end shoe, I buy it because it's like an art piece.
Yeah.
And I might not wear it, you know. I like having a display because one of my favorite things to do, bro. I mean, and as you know, I used to work at Nike for quite a while ago, and I used to buy these shoes, bro. And I've still got a whole heap of shoes I've never worn. Yeah. Like I've got Kobe Air Force Ones, LeBron Air Force Ones, and it's got their face on the side of it. I still have never worn them, but I know the value of them has gone a lot higher. Like, I mean, I think I would have paid wholesale for them, but now I think they're worth, like the Kobe ones are worth $1,500 US at the moment. Yeah. You know, if I had worn them, I wouldn't have that value. So I see that sort of style as a piece of art. Yeah. You know, it's interesting what people think, you know, like, oh, nah, fuck, you've got to wear your shoes. That's why you got to wear your shoes. Yeah. But then I also see is that sneakers is also just different forms of art, you know, like in terms of the collaborations, you know, brands do with artists or what that shoe means. And I remember seeing my mate, he got a pair of Jordan Dior's and he wore them out and nobody could believe he wore them. Because they're like, fuck, do you know how much they're worth? And he's like, yeah, I do. And because people like, they see that as like a piece of art, you know, like they see the resale value out of it. Whereas my mate sees them as a pair of sneakers that it's a statement piece for him to wear when he goes out, you know, like to say, I've got these, not everybody can maybe access these. And you're probably about the same. Yeah. Whereas I kind of like to have like a dream of having a like a pool room. Yeah. You know what I mean? And having like Jordan's displayed in a case, making it with a spotlight coming down on top of it, making it look mean, you know, like that's kind of like how I look at some sneakers. Yeah. So most of my sneakers I wear, like I remember I used to have 20 pairs of Cortez and I'd wear, I think 80% or 90% of them. But like I said, there's a special kind of Jordans that I would never wear. Like my favorites, like J5, and I'd probably like the original, you know, like I'm not the OG, but I've got like the cement grey ones, I mean black with the reflective tongue ones, but so I don't know if I could wear those because they mean something to me, you know, like, but I've also got another pair that it's not as special because it's a re-release and I'd wear those, you know, if that, I don't know, it sounds weird, but that's probably how I see it. I would wear some shoes, but I'd see others as a special piece of art that I would love to have displayed, making look cool, you know, so.
No, I understand their mindset, like for me, I've just never been like I don't like consider myself a sneakerhead. Yeah. And I like, because I don't really care about sneakers like that. Like I like sneakers because I like sneakers.
You like wearing sneakers,
like, it's not like I'm trying to like.
Because you like my mate, he likes wearing a statement piece when you go out. It's part of your fit. Well, you buy that with in mind to wear it because you can say, that's what I like.
Like to me, that's even better because it's like, then you're even like you're shitting on everyone, you know? Yeah. Because you're like, bro, you care about these, and I'm wearing them. Like, I'm wearing them to a dinner where you might fucking drop drinks on my shoes, you know? And this person like cares about it like so much, and it's like it's almost like a freaking ego thing, you know? But like to me, that's cooler. Like for someone to be able to do that. like at the same time, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like if you don't wear it, like it's like I don't get why you bought it then, you know, like because I'm like I like making use of like my money, and it's like if I'm spending something like that on it, it's like, man, I want to get like at least like a few wears out of it, you know, like.
Yeah, and if I look around, and that's a great thing. And I'd love to hear other people's thoughts as well. Like, if they make comment below, do you wear your sneakers when you buy them? You know, like, are you a wear your sneakers kind of person, or are you like to stock them and keep them fresh and keep them clean, look at them, you know, display them? I guess if we look around, like you've got the Kobe basketball. Be like, well, you've got that in like a little Perspex box. Yeah. You know, people be like, oh, it's just a basketball. Why don't you just play with it? You know, like it's only he's got signature on it and it looks mean. That's that sort of kind of mentality as well. And that is a piece of art which looks amazing. Yeah. You could switch that out for a cool pair of kicks as well in that Perspex box. To make it look like art. That. Yeah. So it's all different because if there's a story behind it, that also makes it more appealing and sentimental, more valuable as well. Where if it's just just like another kick, I mean yeah, exactly right. You know, so it's interesting to see what people's thoughts are around their sneakers and if they wear them or rock them or they stock them. So yeah, but cool to hear people's thoughts about that and make comment on that. But it's cool, bro, to hear that you go into that fashion thing. I can't wait to see that. And you just showed me some sample imagery before, and that looks dope, bro. So must be exciting, bro.
It's all exciting. Anyways, let's talk about you, bro. Let's talk about your whole Warriors. You were a Warrior for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You had the whole kit on. You were on the bus. You were knighted by all the boys. Yeah.
It was crazy, bro. Honestly, it was crazy. So for those that don't know, I was sort of helping out with the boys, the Warriors content team, with their social media team, helping with some content. I'm super privileged to be able to help them out, and so grateful for the opportunity they had all given me. And they're just the coolest people as well, the whole staff at the Warriors. Like, I'd walk into the office and they're like, hey, Stace, how you going? And, just made some great relationships with everybody, even with the team, the coaches, the medical staff. Just everybody was super welcoming. It was dope, bro. Like, so I was lucky enough I got to go to Penrith with them, over there with their...
Was it the first trip?
That was my very first trip, yeah. So I've done a few home games, which was mean, but my very first away game with them was, to the Penrith game. Yeah. That was crazy, bro. So we stayed right across the road from where the stadium was. They've got this brand new hotel, and right next to the hotel, literally across the road from that, is the Panthers Club. Fuck, they do it mean over there, eh? It would be so cool to have a club over here, bro. Like, somewhere where we could go, like it's a club. The club over there, bro, it's like 3 stories high. It's got massive Panthers written across it. I think it's even got like a nightclub in there. It's got pokies. You can go have a feed in there. But they've got this bar in there, like just like a normal, it's like a sports bar. Yeah. And the day before the game, the players just chilled in the hotel room, and some of the coaches went across the road to just have a beer, just to chill and watch. I think it was the Broncos were playing. Well, there's another game before the boys. And so, bro, I was sitting at this table, and it had the CEO of the Warriors, it had the coach of the Warriors, had the owner of the Warriors, had one of the goats of the team, Stacy Jones was there, bro. Plus also, and I was sitting around and we're just having banter and just chatting and having a few beers. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like people would pay thousands of dollars to have that moment chilling with them. And they're all just good people, like they're so cool, bro. Like, and just traveling around and getting to know the boys. And I still felt like, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of imposter syndrome, but the biggest thing I felt was I didn't want to step on toes. I sort of, particularly with the guys that are creating content. Logan Dodds is the main content creator, and I was just sort of backing him up, just doing on photos. But bro, like walking out into the Panthers stadium, we had captains run there. Yeah. It's fucking just, you look around, bro, and just like, you kind of pinch yourself, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, yeah, I've been watching this, I've been supporting this team since 95, and here I am, the boys are running past me, and fucking, like, I'm taking photos and making videos of them, and it's just, and you get to know them, like I say, on a personal level. Like, we'd sit down and have lunch, like after coming back from Captain's Run, you have lunch together. But then I get to see, and I won't go into too much detail about everything that goes on. But it's just so special to be part of like a great club, you know. Andrew Webb has just turned that whole Andrew Webb and also the CEO Cameron George have all really turned that around, and also Robbo, who owns it as well. They've really put a lot of things in place to make sure that the club's turned around. An example being, bro, like remember Webby talking about one time he did a presentation to like a group of like business owners. And someone asked him, like, how have you guys turned this, or have you turned the club around? And one of the things was that Webby was big on making sure that the players come through the front door of the club. Because what was happening, he reckons the first day he got there, his first meeting was at, I think, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And one of the other coaches came to his office and said, hey, bro, it's 5 to 8, let's we're going downstairs for the meeting. And he's like, what do you mean? No one's here. None of the players are here. They're like, the other coaches are like, nah, they've come through the back way. They've come underneath the stadium. They've parked through and they've just gone straight into the meeting room. And he's like, nah, that's not happening anymore. Fuck that. You said, from now on, he said, boys, from now on, everybody has come through the front door. You got to say hello to all the staff or any staff member that you walk past. You shake their hand and say good morning to them. You walk past my office and then you can say, and part all the other coaches' office as well, and just say good morning. You know, just set the scene from as you walk in. No one's going around the back anymore. No one's sort of hiding in there with their hoodie on, coming around the back. You know, just sneaking into the back of the, into the meeting room. None of that's happening anymore. You know, like we're a club. This is not we're not about that. We're not about individuals. And they've got a big policy is like no dickheads allowed. Like you can't be. You know, like if you're a dickhead, you're not going to fit into this environment. So just little things like that, bro, you know, like. And then a cool thing I remember him talking about was he was saying that he really wants to make sure that all the boys are happy when they come to the club, you know, like when because when he said, I want the best out of them when they're training or when they turn up to the club. Because they, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Cameras have shit themselves. Hang on.
God damn it.
What was I talking about? Saying about what Webby wants to do is that make sure when the players turn up, they're in their best mindset, you know? So he said what could possibly happen is that one of the boys might have had an argument with his missus or had a shit morning with the kids, and so he comes in, he's got his hood on, and he walks past the office, and then Webby sort of notices that the guy's head's down, and he's not looking too good, because what could potentially happen is that he might go to training and he's still carrying that burden of his, having a barney with his missus or his kids, and next thing you know, he's fucking up, and then all of a sudden the coach is on his ass going, what the fuck is going on? Like, fuck, you don't mean to do that. You know what you should be doing. And now all of a sudden he thinks the coach hates him. So he goes home thinking, fuck, am I going to be in the team? The coach hates me, fucking my missus hates me, like all these things. So all of a sudden he's got this bad mentality or negative mentality about how he's feeling and where he maybe fits in the club and where he fits in with life. He's like, so what I try and do is I try and stop it straight away. So he notices that people walk past their door, like players walk past their door, the dude with a hoodie on and his shoulders, his head's dropped. And you'd be like, hey, mate, bro, just want to come back in for a sec. Just want to sort of, just take a seat, bro, see how the things are going. And how are you, bro? What's going on? Sort of get it cleared before, what's going on in your life? How's the kids? How's the family? And then he might open up. The player might open up before training starts. Yeah. And so then all of a sudden it's cleared out of his mind. He's sort of, because he's talked about it, it's helped lifted the weight off his shoulders. So now coach also knows, fuck, he's going through a bit of a tough time. If he is maybe dropping balls or not running the right lines, I kind of understand why. And, no, I understand. Rather than having to crack at him, you could be like, okay, mate, maybe just try and work on this, as opposed to going, fuck is wrong with this kid, So he's changed just like heaps of little things like that, bro, and in the club. But the all-time one, bro, was going to Suncorp Stadium, bro, for that semi, bro. Fuck, that was all-time. Have you been to Suncorp, bro?
I've never been to any games, bro.
Suncorp Stadium, bro, is like a purposely built stadium, bro. I remember one time, the change rooms, you've probably seen them on State of Origin matches when they play there. You know how they warm up in the change room? It's fucking that massive. But there's also in one of the, it was on the Broncos changing room, where they warm out, they've got a viewing room. So you can, I think it's a one-way mirror. So you can go into this room and you can see into the warm-up area, like in the changing room, and you can just stand there. So I think family and sponsors can go in there, so they can watch the guys warm up without disrupting them. Because sometimes you can go in there and people are standing around, and it could be sort of, annoying that people are in there.
Yeah.
But because you're inside this little special room looking through a window into the change room, you can see everything that's going on. Fuck. Just, I don't know, just little things like this, bro.
And then I heard like the freaking like crowds like it's only like a meter away or something from the field.
Yeah, bro. And the field is mean too. Like it's such a dry pack, well looked after field, bro. And they had fucking fireworks going off. I remember when they first went to boom, we all just went, what the fuck was that? And so you're like,
oh shit, like, fuck, I didn't get that recording. Like,
where's the heads up? But yeah, like just being, it was deafening loud too, bro. I think it was 52,000 people. There was heaps of Warrior supporters, but fuck, when they scored a try, bro, it was like deafening loud. And you look around, bro, and the whole fucking crowd was just pumping. But then I was in the corner where the Warrior supporters were. Even that was mean, bro. Fuck, they were hissing, bro. They were into it.
And Broncos is one of those like country teams. Like the whole country loves the Broncos, especially because you think about like Lockyer and
they went through that patch of just fucking winning it every year. But yeah, so just things like that, bro. But then, so being on the field. So I remember, like, a lot of things we got to do, bro. So the thing is, I don't get a chance really to watch the game because my responsibility is, okay, if their play, so I'm posted up in one corner and Logan's posted up in the other corner, and a lot of times we can pick up, who's scoring tries. So, for example, I was in Montoya's corner, and so I could see the play happening because I didn't realize, bro, every single play the ball is strategic. In terms of where they run, how they hit up. I just thought just play the ball, rock and hit up. But fucking
under nines. Under 9 Northcote Tigers. Shit.
But every play the ball, even tackle, even like pressing up, because it was cool hearing about, hearing the coach talk about what their focuses was before captain's run, all that stuff. So I got to sit in on that. That was dope, bro. But yeah, so going back to what we're doing. So I remember getting, and I thought I could see, okay, I can see them setting up coming back this way from Montoya. And so I'm filmed that, bro. Filmed them scoring. Then I've got to quickly whip around and then get the crowd shots about, them celebrating, going crazy. Then once I've got that, bro, and then I've got to race over to my laptop, which was just behind where the reserve sits. Yeah. So I've got to quickly get my card out of my camera into my laptop and just start doing a quick edit. And so then I could give it to one of the other boys who then posts up on social media within like 10 minutes of them scoring a try. Because you want content to be like real time. Yeah. So somebody that can't make it, they can see what's going on. Yeah. Can't make the game, I mean. Or the other thing is as well is that once halftime kicks on, what everyone does is just turn down the TV and they grab their phone and they start scrolling through their phone. So they want to see what's going on. They want to see behind the scenes. They want to see the boys turning up. They want to see, warming up. They want to see some tries happening, some atmosphere that's happening in the crowd. And so we're always conscious about, creating that kind of content, getting it out quickly so people around the world and storytelling, so they can feel like they're there. So that was cool, bro. So just doing things like that. But then once the hoot is gone, our other responsibility was like, they're like, Stace, get out there and make sure you take video of the guys, congratulating, shaking hands at the end of the game. I remember going straight into the field, bro, and Chance came straight over to me and goes, fuck, I'm really sorry, bro. Like, dapped me up and goes, fuck, I'm really sorry, bro. We let you guys down. You know what I mean? That was his first reaction. And I was like, fuck no, bro. Like, nah, bro, you've inspired us. We're just all so proud of you guys. And that was the feeling all the boys, everybody was like, fuck, we've let New Zealand down. They felt so guilty about losing that game because they wanted another chance, to go into the final. Yeah. And that was, and just seeing these guys on a personal level, bro, meeting these dudes on a personal level, because we only can see what happens, what the media tells us.
On the Sunday nights,
on game days, or what the media tells us. And these reporters, bro, they've got to create a story, and they don't give a fuck if they're telling the truth or not. And they just, whatever they do, if they slay a player or coach or whatever, they don't often see the repercussions of what happens to these guys. Yeah. Like sitting around just chatting after a game, bro, we're having a feed together and we just talk about family and what they're up to, and just they're the nicest dudes, bro. They're all the coolest dudes, and no one feels a loss more than the players in the club. No one does. You may think, as a fan, fuck, that really hurt. But just imagine what they're going through. They this is their livelihood. They literally living for game to game, week to week. Imagine that stress, bro. Like, I remember talking about someone else before, bro. It's like if you're a player at a high level game, whether it be league, rugby, whatever, you just never know whether you're going to be. Am I going to? Unless you're a gun like the top, like SJ's going to be in the game playing every week, so he's no like Richie McCaw knew he was going to be playing every week, But some of these other players that might not make the starting team that week, like imagine the All Blacks at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't know if you're trying to crack it. Like look at Leicester, right? So last week he played, he played starting 23. Now he's not even in the starting 23 this week. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like so mentally it must be so fucking hard.
So draining, yeah.
So draining, Like, am I going to get picked this week? Fuck, what have I done? What wrong? What can I be doing better? Fuck, oh no, am I going to lose my spot? Just that must be like it's an emotional roller coaster,
That's their psychology, like mind fuck,
Bro. And so, and when the fans start going off, you're fucking not committed to this, it's like, bro, this is their livelihood, right? You know what I mean? Like, this is also, but also not only do they love the game, but this is putting food on their table for their families, putting a roof over their head for their families, and you just, when people start slagging off the players, they know they fucked, like if they've done something wrong, they know, they don't need somebody to say, you're fucking shit,
The teammate knows it, but he's the first one spraying him next to him.
Yeah, but I remember, have you seen that documentary about Beckham and David Beckham on Netflix?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
No, I watched it, but I watched it while I was tattooing. So.
Oh yeah, but when he got sent off.
Oh yeah, for kicking that dude.
It was a small, not a bit fuck, bro. You know what I mean? If anybody has been through fucking adversity, bro, he has gone through. Watch that documentary, bro, on Netflix, bro. That
you know what's crazy about that one, bro? In that time, in that era, and this is also what Dennis Rodman, Allen Iverson, what they went through, because they were a person of charisma, they were a character that was a bit different to everyone else. It was so hard for coaches to understand them. That one when he makes England and then he just gets dropped, to the bench, and everyone in the team's I don't know why he's on the bench. He's our best player. But then the coach is oh, you need to stop worrying about the outside the field and hanging out with that Spice Girl.
He's not focused on the team or the game. Yeah,
but it's he's doing nothing wrong, but it's that era was just so focused on you only do this, just focus on this.
But it still happens today, bro. Oh. And I'll give you an example. If Rico or Ari were doing a podcast or a vlog, and then they lost, put a podcast or a vlog out that week, and then they lost on Saturday, straight away they're like, fuck, that's your problem, bro. You're not focusing enough on rugby. Yeah. You're not committed to this.
But that's still an old school mindset. And that's if we think about America,
bro, they promote that.
They've changed the whole thing,
Or look at Deion Sanders.
Exactly. He's made people have an ego. He's made people even talk like that. He's made people want to go on podcasts and brag. But yeah, you just saying that Beckham documentary, and it's so crazy that when you're who you are, people want you to be who you are. And then you be who you are, and then they're trying to change who you are. And you're doing nothing wrong, you're playing the best, you're still doing everything that is required, and you're doing everything and more. But it's not good enough, it's damn, so I can't just go see my celebrity misses? And it's so hard because it's no matter what you do, if it's something that's far left to society, it's always just going to be you're always just going to have that kind of stigma around it. Fuck, why do you have to be like that, bro? Why can't you just be fucking everyone else in this team? But it's bro.
And that's the other thing as well, like, bro, like, even things like try celebrations. Like in New Zealand, be like, if an All Black fucking celebrated, like hardcore, like a try celebration, which is one of the greatest things you can do, like score a try in a game.
Yeah.
Like that's what the fucking game's about, scoring tries. Like you work hard to score tries, but you can't celebrate it. But yet when we see it happen in America, like if they NFL dudes, NBA, whatever, you know, when we love it when they do it, you know, when they celebrate, like, fuck, that's me. Like LeBron, you know how LeBron, you know, starts off every game by throwing, you know, powder in the air. They think, oh, fuck, that's me. But imagine if an All Black did that. Like, calm down.
Sit down, Ken.
What are you doing, Ken? What are you up to? Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that's why are we like that? Like, why... whether it's the All Blacks or whether is it mainly just the All Blacks? Can, like, I don't know, the All Blacks or the Kiwi League team, are they, if they celebrated, would people care as much?
Yeah.
But I think because the All Blacks have always been just keep it low key, you know what I mean? Just like
Be humble ones.
Be humble ones, yeah. You know, like, is it because of that? Maybe because would, if someone, you know, because we watch someone like Dallin scoring a try, like we do celebrate, you know, the Kiwi team. But that's the thing, like, I've spoken to a couple of people while we were at the Warriors game, and I remember this lady, I was speaking to this lady, bro. She's like, oh, I'm not really she was at the game, she's like, I'm not really a league fan, but I've really enjoyed it. It's so much more fun. We're a rugby family, but this is so much more fun than a rugby game, you know, like.
Yeah.
And the fucking crowd is just awesome at league, you know, at the Warriors games, bro. I mean, you know, like, it's all time. Yeah.
Bro, honestly, I don't get it. Like, I love teams that celebrate, and Panthers is a perfect example of that. Like, Ivan Cleary letting those boys be like those boys, and then you get that result. If that doesn't tell you that, like, if you let them be who they are, you possibly could win 3 championships in a row and go to 4 finals.
Because if they're happy off the field, bro, they're going to be happy on the field, right?
Well, that's exactly it, bro. If you give people what they want, bro, like, they give you back what you want. And that's how, like, you got to understand, well, like, I'm fucking not a coach or anything.
But I mean,
like,
let's take you with your boys, for example, right, here at the
Exactly.
studio. Like, if you tell them, say, bro, don't do that, I don't want you doing that,
Yeah.
fuck, they're not going to be happy in here, bro.
And bro, like, it's funny that you say that, because I, like, the way I almost, like, the way I want to run everything in here is almost like I treat it like a sports team. Like, I treat them like players. Like, and that's exactly how I, like, think of it, is that, like, I let these boys have, like, everything in here, and I let them try and, like, be them to the fullest and more, like, and do whatever they want. But at the same time, understanding that if I'm giving you this, then you got to give me what I'm wanting in here, and that's the best work. That's the best personalities, like characters, you know.
Sorry to cut you off, but it's also at the same time, you've got to make sure that you're representing Owing at a high level as well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, 'cause if one of the boys are playing up outside of Owing, that's a reflection on you guys as well. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's, for example, let's take the All Blacks, right? Like Mark Talia, he got stood down last week because he didn't
Whatever curfew or whatever.
Yeah, protocol. And so that wasn't driven by the coaches, that was driven by the leadership team, the players. They're the ones that decided, because Fozzie said it wasn't, it was a player's decision to stand him down, which I think is mean, because imagine that, bro. Imagine having to go into that meeting and with the players and going and have been confronted by the leadership team going, bro, you're not playing this week. Man, imagine how he would have felt, bro. You know what I mean? That would be the worst, rather than getting it from the coach. If it's coming from the coach, but if it's coming from your peers.
Yeah. But that's what's even better, bro. And, like, in saying, like, all of that, like, the way, like, I structure the studio, like, we still have our team meetings, we still have our check-ins, like, we have everything to try and keep that, like, in a straight and narrow. And, like, the best thing that I got out of the All Black situation is that, like, life, like, is, like, you can't go without consequences in life. Like, you need consequences in your life in order to, like, put you back on your guide to, like, the straight and narrow. It's never to, like, look at it like you make a consequence, like, you did bad, fuck off. Like, because it's, like, look at it now, like they trusted that their systems, their protocols is the highest value, the highest level. And they say, hey boys, if we're all gonna like buy into this, then you like no one here is going against that, is going against that protocol. Even if you're Mark Telea, who's been fucking the best winger, hands down, this whole season.
And that's good that they set that standard, right?
And look at what happened. They fucking beat the best team, ranked the number one best. Fuck, all Blacks will always be the best team. Fuck, fact check that. But they ended up beating the best, like the number one ranking team without the best winger. And that wasn't to say that, like, you know, the All Blacks are the best team. That was to say that the All Blacks systems is what they value more than anyone in that team. No one's better than the team.
Exactly right. I remember I'm currently reading Dan Carter's book.
Yeah.
And fuck, he dives like so deep into the whole the protocols, the history of, and also like the standards of the All Blacks. It's a fucking good read, bro, for anybody that's sort of wanting to learn about either leadership, communication, talking about teamwork, putting the team first. Everything he said is about, if it's not to the benefit of the team, then don't do it. You know what I mean? Like everything is all about an example being like if he got injured, right? So if he gets injured, he's saying that like he tore in the Rugby World Cup, he tore his fucking hamstring.
Yeah, his groin.
Or his groin.
Yeah.
And so he said he burst out in tears when he got told, look, you can't play because it's ended your Rugby World Cup. So he said it took 24 hours to sort of sit in his feelings for that moment.
Like have a
sook or whatever it was. But he said any time after then it's a hindrance onto the team because now you're dragging the team down. They get it because you got to have that moment. You got to sit in it, address it, accept it. But now, what's your new role now is now that you can't play, but your new role, his new role, he was saying is that how can I still help the team? And I had to put my own feelings aside and my own issues that I'm having with myself, because what can I do to help? You know, he said I could have sat in the back of the room and not said anything during meetings and not said anything at trainings and done anything. I could just sat just kicking stones. But he said that's not helping the team right now. So he said what I know, I could share my knowledge. That's going to help Cruden or help the other Beaver, help the other first fives, because they need to know what his thought process is with a different strategy of the field. So he's like, I had to still communicate, even though it was fucking hard for me because I wanted to be that guy. Yeah. He said, but I had to put myself to the side and put the team in front because the biggest goal was what's going to be best for the team, and like we have to do that. Like anything that we are, like he was representing the All Blacks, and like see All Boys, right? Like, they're representing not only themselves but they're also representing Owing, and exactly. how they hold themselves outside of these four walls. You be yourself. It's like Dennis Rodman, right? Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? He was still allowed to be himself, which made him a better person on the court because they knew, fuck, if we try and retain this dude, he is just going to explode.
Exactly.
And when, he could just, the whole team could implode, like just get from the inside out, but they just let him go and he comes back and just fucking kills it,
That's that like one bad apple, just ruins the whole basket.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like literal as well, like you go to fucking Countdown, you look at it like a packet of apples, and if you see one off, you're like,
you put the whole bag of it.
Move, get out of the way, fucking ugly packet.
Yeah. But he was also saying that they've also got the All Blacks. Dan Carter was also saying is that they've got a thing they do. They have weekly meetings, and it's more like just a coffee catch up, and they address any issues. For example, he said he played a game with Joe Rokocoko when he was playing in France. And he said he's quite demanding of Joe. Like he was telling Joe, go here, go there. I want you to be here. I need you to lift your standards higher. But then he said, I kind of felt bad about it as well. So I hit up Joe saying, hey, brothers, can we just catch up for a coffee? I just wanted to check to see that you're okay with how the game went on the weekend. I like to get your feedback and your thoughts on it, rather than Joe going off going, fucking Dan was a piece of shit to me. He talked shit to me, and next thing you know, he's slagging Dan off to other players, Then people all of a sudden they've got their groups, because people are driving wedges between. If they just address it in a comfortable environment that's not confronting, it's just more about, hey, I just want to let you know I'm feeling like this kind of vibe, And that could be something like, again, if you're in a business or in a team environment, it might be just say, hey, bro, should we just go get a coffee? You know, I just want to sort of check that, like the check-ins that you talked about before. Are you okay? You know, is there anything I could have done better in that? How do you like being managed? You know, communication. We could do that even with our own relationships with our partners. You know, like we just take it for granted. And me and my missus talk about this a bit as well. Is that fuck, how have we gone from fucking talking to the Warriors and all of a sudden we're doing counselling advice. But just saying is like, for example, couples, you can easily go through life, especially people with kids, you know, you just take each other for granted, you know, without having that communication. And
meaning like years and like,
you agree with
but
me?
I don't have
You'll get there, bro. You'll get trust.
I'm doing the year for you. Like, can't relate.
Shout out. This is a tip for the boys. So you've got to fucking, especially if you've got kids, man, it's easy to fucking just go through life without addressing any issues. Like if you have a massive barney with your missus and then you just brush on the table, bro, it's like having a cut or something, you don't heal it properly. Yeah. It's not going to, you know, there's going to be scar tissue around it. Yeah. It's not going to, you know, heal as it should do. If you attend to it, you go, you know, see somebody about it and you get it addressed, it's going to heal better, you know? So it's the same thing with your relationship, bro. Like if you've got to address these things, but it's not a shouting match. It's more about, this is how I felt kind of vibe, you know? Like, yeah, that's one tip for the boys, bro. Like,
that goes.
But it's hard because boys have got ego, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they always think they're right, you know?
But that goes for everything, bro. Like, it blows my mind that, like, people just think this is like a one-sided thing, bro. It's like every aspect of your life needs to be addressed. Mm-hmm. And if you want, like, the honest truth about everything, like everything needs to be like done honestly. Everything needs to be done with integrity, because then you can't have like one thing that's mean and then the other thing is like not, and like you're wondering why it isn't mean. It's because you like always address this situation, but this situation never gets addressed. So it's like it's still the same thing, you know. It's almost like in sports, you can almost relate like different sports, like in every team. Like, you know, no matter if you're a basketball team, no matter if you're a cricket team, no matter if you're a rugby team, there's still like the same values that like go around in every team that you can like uphold. And that's what I reckon like life is. Like, if you want to be like good at what you're doing, in order for you to be the best content creator, the same values goes into being the best husband. The same values goes into being the best father, like the best friend, the best, like, you know, whatever you are. And that's how, like people forget that it's like the same thing everywhere. You know, they think that if you can be like a shit cunt at home, you'll be the man at work. But it's like, it doesn't last long. Like, people will see right through it. And then they go, bro, like, what's wrong, G? And then it goes all the way back to, oh, fuck no, I just hate being at home. And it's like, yeah, see, because you haven't been the same person you were at work when you go home, you know? And we hear it all the time. Fucking, you put so much energy at work and you're trying to be a good cunt to everyone, all of your colleagues. You go back home to your missus, like, fuck, still haven't cooked dinner yet. Mm. And it's just like, what the fuck? You were just talking like fucking cool ass to your like colleagues, and the one you love the most, you're fucking like just treating me like shit.
Or it's a competition. Oh fuck! I did the dishes yesterday. I cleaned that up. Yeah, I did. Oh, I cleaned it when it's your turn. You know,
bro.
It's like, I remember seeing this. I think I can't remember what it was on TV or something like that. There's about this couple, and they're like, "Oh, what was the sort of secret to having a great relationship?" And they said, "It's not a competition." You know, like the thing is, it's like, whatever it is, you're not trying to outdo each other. Yeah. You are literally, like we just talked about, a team. Yeah. And what is best for your team? Whether it's a team of two, of just a couple, team of three with the kids, you know, 3, 4, 5. Whatever you do, how are you elevating your team? Yeah. Is it by, if you're putting your other team members down and making them feel like shit, it's not going to make your team rise to be great. Yeah. You know, like if you want these mean opportunities to be presented to you or to come to you, how are you working together as a team to be prepared for those opportunities? You know, like, and like once you start competing with your partner, bro, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, I did that yesterday. Oh fuck, I did that yesterday. Make the bed. Well, fuck, why can't you make the bed? It's like, bruh.
It's ugly, bro.
It gets
Bro. Ugly.
And so you're not working towards the same goal, whatever that goal may be. If there's one person rowing in the wrong direction, then you're not going where you need to be, you know? And so that's another. We're all about tips tonight, bro.
Hey, but in saying that, bro, it takes a lot of learning, bro.
Oh,
a lot of experience that you got to put yourself through, bro. Like, you have to like learn that stuff. Like, that stuff just doesn't just like appear. Like, it's almost like you have to go through adversity in order for you to like finally learn that. Like, as hard as that like may seem, I don't want people fucking chucking themselves in adversity just to learn it, but that's sometimes the best way to learn things, is that like, bro, you just have to go through it, you know?
Yeah, and they say it's not a failure. I've always said this before, it's not a failure to listen, you know?
Yeah, facts.
So, you know, so if you learn, as long as you're learning from your failures, then it's a lesson. Otherwise, if you're not learning, well, fuck, there's no hope for you. Nah.
There's punch-ons in those relationships, I guarantee you. Yeah.
Punch-ons and dog boxes.
That's not an ulcer on the lip. That's a fucking gash that turned into an ulcer.
Oh, bro. But yeah, so that's the thing. A couple of things we've learned tonight is about teamwork makes the dream work. Hey,
say that one again.
Put that on the t-shirt.
TM next to it. Trademark that shit.
But yeah, so that's the thing. Like any great team is always working towards a goal, and they're working together. If there's any bad apples, you approach it, you know, like, or you push it to the side.
It's like, get that packet. Who put this packet here? It's fucking Tim that just started today. Come here. Who told you? What did I tell you about bad apples in the front? Fucking put that shit in the back.
Damn you, Tim.
Tim. Sorry, he's still in school.
Just had to reset
in
the
conclusion,
camera. Just had to reset the camera. Sorry, Tim. But yeah, so yeah, I think we're pretty much coming to wrap that up anyway. So it's been a minute since we chatted, but it was good catching up with you again, bro. As always,
it's always the best, bro.
Yeah, so hopefully somebody gets learn something about, get something out of what we talk about. Talk about fashion, we talk about sports, we talk about life, you know. We're a podcast for everybody, fam. We're a podcast for everybody. Make sure you share it with everybody.
This is the most versatile podcast.
Actually, is like we covered a few things today, bro. And this was just straight off the cuff. This is just convos, bro. This is what I love, you know, like people
leave that how we started in here, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we talking about today?
Yeah. Yeah, at the beginning of the podcast.
You'll really see how like organized we are.
Bro, you'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just hopefully that somebody does get some benefit out of us chatting. But we'd also love to hear you guys' feedback as well, whether it's positive or negative. You know, how can we do better? What do you love about when we have a catch up? But make sure you keep an eye on Curb's. Check his page out, Owing Collective.
Owing Collective, at Owing Collective, at Owing Community, at Kirby Owing, and you'll find all of us, like me and my boys, me and all my friends.
Yo, let's go. And even the tattoo work that Curbs does as well is fucking unbelievable. So I can vouch for that.
Chuck your plug in there as well, bro.
But yeah, I mean, if people want to follow along, especially with it, because I hope to be doing some more Warriors content for next year, which will be fucking cool, bro. So check us out at Stacy Tapsel. Yeah, I'd love to be part of it again. Like I was saying, I was just plugging in. I was just sort of filling in, helping out, come off the bench a couple of times just to sort of help the boys out. And the fucking cool dudes, Jackson Thomas, he's a fucking gun at what he does.
Shout
Logan
outs.
Dodds is unbelievable.
Shout
Content.
outs.
The content he created, bro, fuck. He just, yeah, and he nailed the whole emotional thing about content.
Yeah. Sorry, but I was going to say, bro, you know it was pretty mean. One of my clients when I was in Oz, he was like, oh, bro, how do you know Stacy? And I was like, oh, fuck, that's like one of my good boys, bro. Like, he like helps us with like all our content, like for the Owing Studio and stuff. And he's like, fuck, bro, that guy's the man, eh? Like, he's got mean videos, bro. Like, doesn't he work for the Warriors? I was like, oh, yeah, he does work for the Warriors, bro. And he's like, yeah, bro, I follow me. Fuck, he's mean to watch. And I was just like, shit. Like, it's like one of those ones where, like, when someone says that to you, it's like, fuck, I'm just like so proud, you know? It's like,
appreciate
bro,
that,
that's like actually like one of my good boys. Like, I'm not just saying that, like, fucking, yeah, that's my cousin, bro. Like, it's not one of those ones, like. But yeah, bro.
Nah, that's cool, man. I hope to be a part of the Warriors crew next year. They do some dope shit, bro. Cool club, cool people. But yeah, I just loved how that the whole nation just adopted that. You know, it's like the whole up the wires thing. Fuck, I remember crack up one night, bro. Fuck, how was this? I was putting my son. He crashed out in our bed. He's 8, Hendrix. Fucking loves the Warriors, bro. And he crashed out in our bed one night. And I went to pick him up after he crashed out. And I went to pick him up, bro, to put him back into his bed. And he's stretched out. And then he's like, oh, up the wires. No. Like, bro, still fast asleep, bro. And I just cracked. I was picking up, just trying not to fucking crack up.
You should have just fucking dropped him, bro.
And then when I put him back down into his night, I was like, oh, good night, son. I love you. Up the wires. Up the wires. Just fucking. Up the wires. Did, bro. And I hit him up the next day. I was like, bro, do you remember saying up the wires when I pictured a good beginning? He's like, no.
He's like, that's weird.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he was funny, bro. Yeah, so, but yeah, so the whole country sort of, it was cool to see, you know, like, yeah, so. But no, I appreciate you, bro, as always, my G. So,
that's always
again, thank you for everybody for checking this out. Feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Maybe love for you to share if you want to share with somebody that you may think get some value out of this. But even just tag us, maybe in a post. Fuck, it would be cool to see you guys tag either Kirby or myself, Owen. Check out the boys. They're also on their tools as well. They do some mad. Anybody looking for a tattoo, happen to be coming to Auckland, come check out the studio. The boys would love to see you. Get some artwork done. Fucking amazing at what they do. So, yeah, again, thank you for checking us out. We can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.